Before moving on to the program, let us seek blessings of God with a moment of silence. I invite Mr. Binu Anthony, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, for the welcome address.
Good morning to one and all. It is with great honor and privilege that I am here to welcome you all to the webinar on artificial intelligence in banking sector. As you all know, this year is the centenary year of our college. And this webinar is arranged by our department as part of the centenary programs of our college. Let me introduce the resource person of the day, Dr. C Vijay. He's working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Commerce, St. Peter's Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. He has secured his doctoral degree from Annamalai University on the topic Green Banking Practices of Commercial Banks. He has received ICSSR Doctoral Fellowship from the Indian Council of Social Science Research, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. He's also working with over 50 plus international journals in various capacities like Associate Editor, Editorial Board Member, and Reviewer. He's a member of various national and international research bodies. He has published 70 plus articles in various international journals. I'm sure that we have got the right person for today's session. We are really lucky to have such an eminent personality as our guest and resource person. Sir, on behalf of St. Berchmans College and the Self-Financing Department of Commerce, I extend you a warm welcome. Now I would like to welcome our head of the department, Dr. Jacob Thomas, a man with great vision and down to earth in nature. On behalf of our department, let me welcome you, sir, to this program.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome all the faculty members of our department to this webinar. Last but not least, I welcome all my dear students to this program. Hope you will have a great session ahead. Once again, welcoming you all to the webinar on artificial intelligence in banking sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Binu. Now we're moving to the webinar session. I welcome our resource person of the day, Dr. C Vijay, for the webinar session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for a very generous word for introductions. First of all, I would like to extend congratulations to this historic college. I would like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to speak at this historic institution. It's an honor to be invited to address such a great educational institution. I would like to express my thanks to management of SP College and Department of Commerce. And thank you all for the very warm welcome. Shall I share my slide? Yeah, dear students, today I am here to talk to you about artificial intelligence in the banking sector. My presentation is divided into the 4 parts. The first one, application of AI in banking sector. The second one, Indian banks using artificial intelligence. And third one, benefit of AI in banking sector. The last one, challenges for AI in adoptions. First, I will talk about introduction of artificial intelligence. The recent innovation in technology are never ending and have distinctly impacted everyone in every single aspect of life over the previous decade. One such innovations which is capable of changing the world is like AI technology. What is artificial intelligence? The first two questions. Basically defining artificial intelligence would not be an easy task. It is extremely broad, which cannot be limited to a specific research or studies and single seminar. Artificial intelligence seeks to understand how human cognition works by creating cognitive process that those of human work. The crossroot of multiple major subjects such as computer science, mathematics like logic, optimizations, analyzing, probability, linear algebra, and cognitive science. In addition, this scientific discipline required mixed with the specific knowledge of the major there are the applied to, and each algorithm in AI is provided by the combination of techniques and methods such as syntactic analysis, symbolic computing, and machine learning, exponential analysis, deep learning, and natural network. Artificial intelligence just defining the theory and development of computer system able to perform tasks normally lacking the human intelligence, such as decision making, and this is a major function of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has various applications in today's life. It is becoming essential for today, and because it solves the common problem with an efficient in multiple industries such as healthcare, entertainment, finance, education, etc. AI is making our daily life more comfortable. The next slide. Artificial intelligence in the banking sector. Artificial intelligence meaning in banking sector has transformed the financial services industry globally. In just a few short decades, the sector has become reliant on technology that powers data aggregations, security, authentications, product and services. Artificial intelligence in the present day and AI is being implemented in most of the business functions. One business function where artificial intelligence integrations is taking place at rapid pace is the banking and financial service industry. Intelligence is taking over most of the core functions in banking and finance, such as risk assessment, stock trading, and critical lending process to loan seekers. Artificial intelligence implementations does not technology will totally take over the jobs of banking and finance sector, but AI will help of the finance managers to focus on the core strategy aspect of the company and spend less time on monotonous and repetitive tasks. Artificial intelligence in the banking sectors make bank efficient, trustworthy, helpful, and more understanding. It is strengthening the competitive edge of modern banks in the digital era. The growing impact of artificial intelligence in the banking sector minimizes operation costs and customer support and process automations. This is the artificial intelligence in the banking sector. Besides the artificial intelligence, banking also helps users to select loan amount at attractive interest rate. The AI technology in the banking sectors allows bank to update process automatically and work under compliance. The next question is, why most banks become AI first? Over several decades, the banks have continually updated the latest technology innovation to redefine how customers interact with them. Banks introduced ATMs, for example, in the 1960s and electronic basis. In the 70s and 2000s, the broad adoption of the 24/7 online bank, the web-based bank, and the 2010s. The few disagree. We are not in AI for digital age. They facilitate by finding cost for data storage and processing, increasing for all. Advances in AI technology. This technology can lead to higher automations, and when deployed after controlling, often even decision making, speed and accuracy. This is a bank adoption for the AI technology. It's one of the largest across industries. AI technology can potentially unlock 1 trillion incremental value for what are the applications used in banking applications? First one, AI chatbot. What's a chatbot in banking? The main purpose of chatbot is really a better customer's experience. However, they also help the staff and prevent stressful that arise from direct communication with customers. It's just a function of chatbot in banking. Chatbot sector, the help of like a user can get solution to tasks like locking or unlocking card or checking bank statement. The customers get to avoid the calls or happening answers. The bots enable them get to non-complex tasks. Important use case of the AI bank. AI-powered chatbot are modernizing the way of how businesses do the customers. Chatbot helping the customers in many ways. Customers by responding to the doubt. The chatbot provides the personalized experience to user. Are using mobile apps to avail banking services. It's nowadays every 24 inch mobile bank with help of the AI technology and chatbot. The banking sector is engaging chatbot services to attract customer attentions and expand the brand in the market. The four leading commercial banks, the collaboration with fintech startup. Fintech is nothing but the financial technology, are using AI to improve the customer experience. Commercial banks in India, in collaboration with the fintech startup, are using AI to improve the customer experience, reduce the cost, and improve the efficiency. The chatbot is primary use case of the Indian banks today. With all four banks in investing in the conversational apps, the mostly focus on customer services. In some cases, like in SB, for example, we have also seen the use of smart camera that capture facial expression of customers to offer real-time feedback on the experience. The next off is very important, is AI enhance the customer experience. Every sector is now focused on providing the excellent services by customers, and the financial sector is no different. The customer experience is particularly important in banking because customers have such a vast range of options to choose from. The also much more careful about the choice. What's a bank customer services? The customer services representative who work for the bank answer the customer questions like basic banking services such as account balance and interest rate of fees. They also help the customers product reviewing the surface activities. They reversing the transactions and reissue convert debit and credit cards. AI banking apps can do wonder. The intelligent mobile apps can track user behavior and provide the valuable personalized suggestion to them. In addition, user can do unlimited transaction from their smartphone. Secondly, the artificial intelligence powered banking apps will show services, offer, and insight based on the user search pattern. Hence, mobile banking apps are aimed to improve the customer services by integrations AI strategies. However, the demand for this kind of automations, mobile banking apps using the artificial intelligence has witnessing the strong growth and AI in the banking sectors. The third one, bring automations and makes the process seamless. All of you know about the traditional banking services. For example, disadvantages of the traditional banking. The operation expenses. Move to the office at certain times, only for the working banking certain time only in traditional bank. The slow process, the very slow process, and high commission of depositing. Then lack of the permanent ATM network. Then last one, limitation in online or virtual bank. This is the drawback of traditional bank. In nowadays banking adoption of the AI technologies, the artificial intelligence has great potential in the banking industry. It automations every task which is done by human and makes the entire process very simple. The simple means AI can reduce the workload in banks. AI automations banking reduce the workload of employee. It can serve the customers 24/7. Though customized banking apps and chatbot. User can get complete information opening or closing the account or transfer the fund extra work. The banks are incorporating the robotic process automations for faster process executions and operational efficiency. The researcher said the report that banks will be able to save 75% of the cost while retaining the quality output for the using automations. The banks like in India, HFC and ICICI Bank are using the automations, bring down process execution time by around 60%, accuracy and fast. Then fourth one, data collection and analysis. Why is data important for the banks? The banks are often suited the leverage data, the analytics for the internal purpose, such as the improving the product and development, targeting the market and sales effort, as well as the driving the operational efficiency and better risk and the fraud management in future decision making is very important for the data. Then artificial intelligence based applications can efficiently perform the data collections and analyze the process and verify the data set essential for the AI machines to analyze the data. Artificial intelligence, the mobile banking apps collect and create the suitable learning procedure for enhancing the overall user experience. After the proper analysis of the data, the user experience can become more personalized. This is one of the important application for the banking sector. And then fifth one, portfolio and wealth management. Wealth management is when the entire financial management of affluent individual is done by the wealth managers, and portfolio management is essential for matching the investment of the financial objectives. It's involved assets allocations. Then why is wealth management is important for the banking sector? The advisory of the wealth management help of the persons in creating the financial plan through which you can utilize the assets in such a way that almost all financial objectives are met. Ensure the money invested keeps compounding there through sound investment policy or effective tax planning. Wealth and portfolio management can be done more powerfully with use case of artificial in the banking sector. It's a fact that advanced technology bring everything to our fingertips. Artificial intelligence helps those users who cannot visit the bank frequently. This innovation, like artificial intelligence, can manage banking services and strengthen mobile banking operations. Whenever the user does an online transactions, AI technology sends notification instantly to the user. If any suspicious transaction occurs, the AI machines immediately alert the user, and AI offer the safe transactions. On the other hand, artificial intelligence is also used for the card management system. It can automations like credit card or debit card. The management system on and also makes the process safer. Artificial intelligence technology in banking uses to card authentication process and makes the transaction safe and secure. It's very biggest threat of bank cybersecurity. AI system advanced mobile banking services that are provided for the portfolio and wealth management. The next one, risk management functions. Risk management is the process of identifying, measuring, and treating the property and liability, income, and personal exposure of loss. The ultimate goal of risk management is the preservation of the physical and human assets of the organization for the successful continuation of the operations. In artificial intelligence can do this task with more accuracy and privacy. AI-based mobile banking applications easily track and finance activities and analyze the banking data of the borrower. This could help the banker to identify the risk in given the loan to them. In addition, using the AI-driven risk assessment process, the banker can analyze the borrower behavior, and those can reduce the possibility of fraudulent act. Then analyze of the mood or sentiment. What is a customer sentiment analysis? Why is it important for the sentiment or mood? The customer sentiment analysis is a process of automation, detection of the emotions when customer interact with your product or services or branded. The customer sentiment analysis is done through natural language process. The application using the NLP. A set of the algorithm can detect whether the customer's emotions are positive or negative or neutral. The customer sentiment analysis algorithm primarily uses the two parameters. The first one, the polarity and magnitudes. The polarity indicates whether the emotions are positive or negative. The magnitude indicates how strong the emotions are split by the customers. The customer sentiment analysis is used by the numerous business today to improve the customer experience and those increase the profit. Sentiment analysis can help the anticipate industry, then gain insight about new market and understand what did not go with your product releases. You can use this insight when you are trying to venture in the new market or releasing new product or while update the last product, your existing product. What are the applications using the artificial intelligence used for the customer sentiment analysis? The sentiment analysis provided broad with quick insight into the customer emotions. The company are using it to keep up the social media mentions, the detect urgency in customer support, ticket, and make the sense of the customer feedback suddenly. The artificial intelligence, the models in banking are using the analyze the mood of customers and countless financial markets. Using machine learning techniques, AI models can create market conditions and provide insight into the market trends. Because of this reason, artificial intelligence models are using an hedge fund management functions. Using market trends by AI models, the investor can make valuable financial decisions quickly using the sentiment analysis. The first one is a machine learning, and second one using the natural process learning. Okay. Next, the next generation security is gathered, but for banks, it holds critical value. Banks and other financial institutions deal in millions of transactions by day. That's why banks have become the primary target of the cyber attack. Thus, it is of the high importance for the banks to take preventive security measures to prevent the data against cyber attack. In artificial intelligence, provide a high level of security services to banks. The mobile apps, the development companies with their expertise are developing a artificial intelligence banking app to make every transaction safer and quicker and accuracy. Then 9. Artificial intelligence mobile apps detect the fraud. Artificial intelligence has therefore emergency is a significant tool avoiding the financial crimes due to its increased efficiency. Artificial intelligence can be used to analyze huge number of transactions in order to uncover fraud trends, which is subsequently used to detect the fraud in real time. Artificial intelligence banking apps detect risk and minimize fraudulent act. AI technology can scan the traditional data and detect the irregular user behavior pattern. Hence, using the smart AI tools and apps, banking companies can protect the business from breach. The last one for applications, complaints in banking. Artificial for the complaints in banking. Artificial intelligence technology is splitting the rapid pace. The biggest organization look at the bank, the follow regulatory and the complaints and rules. The banking sector needs to continuously update its work process under the existing complaints, rules, regulations. In generally, most of the banks maintain the internal complaints team for this purpose. The complaints team clean the web pages and other internal document to say updated the new rules. But this process takes a lot of time in traditional banking services and needs more capital to the manual. Operation cost also increases for the maintenance the document. But on the other hand of AI for based software, the product that can actually find the rules that apply the banks and make them complain with those rules. AI software is boost the skills for the compliance officers and allows them to scale their operations. The next one, the second part, the Indian banks using the artificial intelligence. In previous slides, we have discussed the major applications. There are the major 10 applications using the globally the bank and financial institutions. Now we discuss Indian banks using the artificial intelligence. Only for banks we will discuss. India is the second largest country in terms of population in the world after China. The country economy largely lies on the robust financial infrastructure, contributing to the growth of each sector in the nation. Since the financial industry is sufficiently capitalized and well regulated, Indian banks are actively capitalizing the advanced technology. No wonder artificial intelligence is leading the way into the countries, the financial institution. The spotting the typically human behavior, listening operation cost and improving efficiency. AI is already having the vital impact of human life, that transferring the everything from how we live and work. We serve the customers' expectation and with the aim of delivering a better customer experience, the financial service provider or implementation of AI technology in banking operation. Artificial intelligence has the potential to detect fraud, mitigate uncertainty of risk, and help manage regulatory complaints. The top Indian banks that are using AI and how are they benefiting from it? The first bank, State Bank of India, being used in analyzing analytical in 2014. It collaborated with the IIM, Indian Institute of Management Bangalore, and Indian Institute of Management Kolkata from 2014 to 15. It also received training from the Institute of Development Research in Banking Technology, Hyderabad, and Manipal Institute in 2016. With commencing its analyticals, SBI recruited 19 data scientists today. The bank has comprehensive organization structure in place. The separately is a head deputy general managers analyticals and general managers and analyticals in that are in following the companies. The banks has accomplished many milestones at journey of integration of the artificial intelligence. And analytical of address variety of business and operational problem. The collaboration with the IAM, IMK, and IDRBD. The State Bank of India is the largest public sector services, providing the product and services. To deliver the effective banking services, the bank capitalized artificial intelligence. Like name is the SIA. The SIA is nothing but SBI Intelligence Assistant. An AI-powered smart chat assistants that address the customer's inquiry instantly and help up with everyday banking tasks like a human does. Developed by the AI bank platform Vijai. The smart chat assistant is equipped in handling nearly 10,000 inquiries per second or 864 million a day, which is almost 20% of the work is doing in the SIA are caused by the Google each day. The second one, HDFC. The HDFC introduces the UA. HDFC headquarters is Mumbai, and another Indian bank from that use AI. The bank's smart chatbot called UA works with Google Assistants or millions of Android devices like queries and provide them the better services. It's built by the Bangalore-based Salesforce AI Research. UA has reportedly claimed to have answered over 5 million users' queries with more than 85 accuracy. HDFC also has AI-enabled chatbot and chat, which launched the Facebook also in 2016. UA, which stands with Electronic Virtual Assistant, has addressed over 2.7 million customers' queries, interacted with the 53,000 customers, and per day, 1.2 million conversations. The UA can assemble the knowledge from thousands of sources, provide simple answer in less than 0.4 seconds. The bank reports said within the first few days its launch, UA has answered more than 1 lakh queries from thousands of customers from 17 countries across the globe. With the launch of Viva, the bank customers can get information on product and services instantly. It removes the need search, browse, or call. Viva also becomes smarter, learn through its customer interactions. Going forward, the Viva would be able to handle the real banking transaction as well, which would enable the HTTP bank offer the true power of conversational banking to customers. Third bank is ICICI Bank, the Integrated Investment Corporation of India. As leading private sector bank, has applied software robotics into 200 business process across various functions of the company. Through this, the bank became the first in the country to deploy AI system at large scale of various processes. According to report in banking report, ICC has scaled in the over 750 software robotic handling the nearly 2 million transactions daily. It's only doing in the robotic software, which is 20% of the transaction volume is in ICICI Bank. Some of ICICI Bank have use case of AI strategies and portfolio management. They using the software, robotic automation. Then fourth one, Axis Bank. Axis Bank allows the customer to talk about their bank issue anytime, anywhere through AI powered bank. India's third largest private sector bank in July 2020, the conversational interactive voice response (IVR), it's called the IVR system, called AXA, as the next generation, the multi-language voice bot. As the asking customers that travels through the IVR and address their queries and requests without the need of any human interventions in most cases. The private lender also has an innovation lab called the Factory that aimed at expected the development of innovations and AI technology solution for the banking sector. The next bank is Bank of Baroda. The cost of managing accounts will focus into the customer services through AI. It also is a chatbot named Addy, the assistant digital interactions. In 2018, they introduced the Bank of Baroda. It's partnered with the IBM and Accenture, the help of the software. And state-of-the-art IT Center of Excellence and Analytical Center of Excellence that are maintain the services. Next, Andhra Bank is medium-sized public sector bank in India, merged with the Union Bank of India, April 2020. As the bank has a network of branches with numerous satellite offices in the country. It has adopted advanced technology. The bank used an interactive, that's not named the Abdi, address the customer queries immediately and effectively. This AI chatbot developed by the Chatbot is integrated with the core banking services of Andhra Bank and will automations customer support for 5 crores account holder for the bank. The Kodak Mahindra Bank is the last one. Kodak Mahindra uses a small for millions of Kodak customers with quick and available to answer bank queries around the clock, the 24/7. The chatbot named Kya is a bilingual voice chat that comes integrated with the Kodak phone bank. The helpline and will augment the traditional interactive the voice response. They're using the IVR system in Kodak Mahindra Bank. The bank launched the Kya 2.0 voice bot with new features in 2019. The banking system in India was superior and well regulated. As per the report, the assets of the public sector bank stood at 1.52 trillion in the financial year 2020. Furthermore, the bank grew at the CAGR of 3.57 during the financial year 16 to 20. As per the 2024, the total credit action that is reached the 1.698 billion. As the country banking ecosystem is growing, the adoption of the artificial intelligence will continue to evolve, enabling the digital bank infrastructure in futures. Most of the banks are moving now. Artificial intelligence. Next one, the next third part, the benefit of banking sector. The application of AI is many technologies, including the machine learning. The reason is not surprising. A strategy applications of AI is many technologies, including machine learning, the language processing, and computer visions can drive the meaningful result for bank. From engaging the employee and customers, the experience to improve the back office operations. The cost saving connected to the AI can be important. The Accenture report is latest report. Banks can achieve 2 to 5x increase in the volume of interaction or transaction with the same hand count by using the AI-based tools. The financial organizations have a leg up the taking advantage of artificial intelligence. The principal article of Forest researcher who specialized in emerging technology. One of the things, artificial need to lot of data, and banks have a lot of data. The use case of the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, the banking service is not new. The payment of companies, for example, have been using the machine learning to detect the period of fraud transaction for a while, and computing the power and storage have increased. The detection of increasing that happens in real time. AI has immense potential for the bank sector. AI brings automations and simplify the process. Here are a few noteworthy the benefit of AI for the bank sector. The first benefit, the reduction of the operational cost and risk. The banking industries is largely digital in operations, but it is still dealt within the human-based process that sometimes are paperwork heavy in banking sector. In this process, the banks face the important operational cost and risk issue due to the potential for human error. Robotic process automations, software that is mimic rules-based digital tasks performed by the humans, is being applied in the banking to eliminate much of the time incentives and error work involved in the entering customer data from contract from the other sources. The coupled with the handwriting, the organizations, natural language process, and other AI technologies, the robotic automation process both became the intelligence process automations tools that can handle the increasing the wide range of the bank. The workflow is previously handled by the human. This definition of hyper automation aspect in detail the benefit of combination of the AI and automation process. The customer experience. There is a reason the people in banking hours, the banks never seem to open when you needed those most, such as later in the day or and holidays is weekend. The call center of your the notaries for long wait time and operators. When finally engaged, often could not resolve the customer's issues. AI technology are changing that. The chatbot, like chatbot. One of the biggest benefit of AI in the banking is the use of the conversational assistance of chatbot. A chatbot, unlike the employee, is available for his 24/7, and customers have become the increasingly comfortable using this software. The programmer answers our questions, anything. They handle many standards bank tasks had previously involved the person-to-person interactions. The chatbot also is another brand. New and some banks have been using the for while, both internally and customer facing and getting the benefit. The took the help forward during the pandemic also is because anything they can handle by the chatbot that does not have the handle by the persons. For example, the business customers might not be aware of emergent services and loan offering that can help of resolve the payment or create issue. The support by analyticals of AI tools like machine learning or chatbot and customer service agent can make the right offer and the right device in the real time. They delivering the highly personalized service and potentially boosting revenue. This strategy forward queries can have much of 80% of the load in the bound to the questions from customers. That is a chatbot voice banking, robot advice, and customer service improvement, the biometric authentications, and customer segmentations like a customer's website to ensure the most relevant offer is presented. The target of the customers of given the offer. The next one is input the fraud detection and the regulatory complaints. It's an area where machines are genuinely surprised to people. They can crunch vast amount of numbers applying the different algorithm. They don't make mistake unless there are the badly programmed. Humans have a habit making the mistake, especially with the what I'm saying that companies with well structured good data have already been able to put AI to good use of detecting fraud. As companies improve the data collections and algorithm become the more advanced, the benefit of financial firm of growing. And banning regulatory complaints has important cost and even higher liability of not followed. As a result, the banks are using smart artificial virtual assistants that monitor the transaction, keep on the eye on customer behavior, and audit and log information to various complaints and regulatory systems. In big data, enhance the fraud prevention has already made a significant impact. Inquiries process are noted above, and areas such as loan underwriting and discussed below. By looking at customer behavior and pattern instead of the specific rules, the AI-based system help of the bank, the practice of the regulatory complaints will minimize the overall risk. The fourth one, the loan and credit decision. Similarly, banks are using AI-based system to help of the make more informed, the safer and profitable loan and credit decision. Banks are still to confirm to the use of the credit score, the credit history, customer reference, and banking transaction to determine the whether or not individual or company is credit worthy. However, as many will attest, this credit reporting system are far from perfect and are often riddled with errors, missing real-world transaction, the history and the misclassification creditors. In addition to using data that's available, the AI-based loan decision system and machine learning algorithm can look out the behavior and patterns to determine the customers with limited credit histories make fate of good credit customers or find customers whose pattern might increase the likelihood of default. The big challenges with using the AI-based system for loan and credit decision making is it can suffer from the bias-related issue, similar to those made by the human counterparts and issue the discussed below under. The AI's risk and challenges. This is to how loan decision making AI models are trained. The banks looking to machine learning as part of real world. In production system must try to root out bias and incorporate ethics training to the AI training process to avoid this potential problem. Automations, the next one is automation of the investment process. Finally, some banks are delving deeper into the world of AI by using their smart system to help make investment decision and support their investment banking research. Firms like the Switzerland-based UBS and Netherlands-based INGs are having the AI system already adapted in investment process for untapped investment opportunities and inform their algorithm trading system. While humans are still in the loop with all this investment decision, the AI system are uncovering additional opportunities through better modeling and discovery. In AI, many financial services, the companies are offering the robo advisor to help their customers with portfolio management, Robo personalizations, the chatbot and customer-specific models, the robo advisor can provide the high-quality guidance and investment decision and be available for the whenever the customers needs their assistance. Is number of banks guys MNCs like it's foreign bankers now adopted as advisor for robotic for investment purpose. Then sixth one is anti-money laundering technologies. Artificial intelligence system for banking. Look at the different criteria to determine the accuracy of the money laundering. The money laundering effect are worth $1 trillion of dollars each year. More important to monitor due to the being practiced commonly, the implemented by criminal organization. The way of that banking, AI scans for these types, the activity of the highly similar of software that detect the fraudulent behavior. The end of the result through is that the good play an important role in the resolving the criminal cases, putting the stop the large scale of money laundering operations, etc. Additionally, the financial institutions are largely required to take certain steps to prevent this crime. So we can expect the artificial intelligence to play an increasing the important role of industry compliance times to do on in anti-money laundering. The credit evaluation of the KYC. Why is the KYC process is important for the banking sector? The KYC procedure defined as a bank involve all necessary action to ensure the customers are real access and monitor risk. This client onboarding, the process help prevent and identify the money laundering, that like the terrorism financing and other illegal corruption scheme. Banks are required to conduct the diligence before opening an account. The documentation necessary for this process various depending on the customer profile. The credit evaluation can be labor incentive process, especially when it comes to knowing whether or not there is enough the information available regarding each client and the credit worthiness. Suppose the adopting the AI technologies with help of the solve this problem by performing the automation check against internal database and external database. The sources such as central banks, the national statistical agencies, the public registers like the property registers, the company registers agent and social network. This allows the financial institutions to maintain the accurate record at all times about any customers. The reduce the regularities and the reputations risk associated with the KYC compliance. And last part is fourth one is challenge for the AI adoptions. The banking sectors in India is now increasing the adoption of AI technology. According to joint research conducted by the National Business Research Institutions and Narrative Science, about in India, 82% of the financial services already using the AI technologies, such as the periodic analyticals and voice recognition. In India, 29 banks such as SBI banks and Bank of Baroda, HFC, Axis Bank, Yes Banks, and other are already deploying the AI to streamline of the regular process. According to the recent report, 83% of the Indian bankers, higher than the global average of 79%, they believe that AI will work alongside its human in the next 2 years. However, the report also is noted that 77% of Indian bankers agree that they have effectively accuracy and speed the implementation of the AI technology. AI tools in banking services, the adoption of the AI in the Indian bankers, the finance industries can be further enhanced by addressing the following challenges. The first one, the trained manpower. Unavailability of the professional with the requisite data science skills means that only small number of good data scientists are available in our country. In addition, the scarcity of the trained human resource, the workforce in banking not familiar with the latest tools and technology and applications. The financial services industry needs to work with Indian universities to develop skilled data scientists and develop in the house training program to train the employees in successful implementation of the AI technologies for banking functions. The universities are colleges, various institutions under our countries, including the US and the UK. The being the adapt the changes the AI is bringing about the finance sectors by offering undergraduate or master graduate of the in fintech. In India, HDFC Bank has launched the program in partnership with engineering and MBA colleges, various institutions, and students emerging bank technology courses. The adapter to create the number of scientists in the future. And second one, the importance of the data center stations. The independent bank, other financial organizations are the process of developing extensible business reporting language and other data standards would expect the mainstream adoption of the AI in financial sector. Non-uniform of the digitalization of the data will lead of issues and as well as the usabilities. This will show in the regulatory complaints and the adaptability of the changing the requirements. The third one, the different enforcement of the approaches, the lack of harmonization of enforcement approaches across the different countries and regulators create the challenges for the financial firm employing an AI solutions. The different enforcement approaches make it the hard of firm adopt effective global statement and to quality the risk of rolling out AI in the innovation of the international. In user capacity, articulating queries and requests in the manner that is comprehensive to AI's challenges. The problem is compounded by the vast diversity among the customers who use banking services and the different levels that are digital literacy. A financial and banking service is effective only when the data provided by the customers is useful and can be the understanding by the AI system in use. The AI system can then recognize the queries and respond to them in the satisfactory manner. This next major problem in adapting the AI technology in India, the multiple language. In India, the most effective AI enable the communication services will be those that the reach majority of the Indians in their first preferred language. There are many languages in India, the official language and local language. However, this is the challenges and present owing to limited machine cards of the vernacular languages for training and natural language processing and generation algorithm. The presently in India, there are the wide gaps between the AI that operated in English or bilingual mode and AI that can process and understanding local languages. And effective AI-based communications, the platform, they indicating the provide banking and financial services, the must have the able to understand the consumer spoken language, like the customers, and respond to the consumer or customers in respond in the same language. Then it is a very important challenge for the AI sector. AI system requires a huge amount of training data as input. The consumer data is continuously collected by tracking online and offline consumer behavior. The storage merged with other data sources to generate big data set and extract further information about customers' flow profile. The recording the online actions of individual can create huge database. These data sets typically contain information about individuals' transactions like email, video, search queries, the health record, and social networking interactions. Often, loophole and unprotected service result in unauthorized access of that data. According to the recent report, Data Security Council of India, they faced second highest number of cyber attacks between the 2016 to and 2018. The last one, cost. Software is not the cheap, no everyone, and Bling Edge AI technology often comes at the premium software. The software features are paid upfront, and there are the updates are contained with the total cost of the ownership and AI decision management system is higher than the traditional banking system. And finally, artificial intelligence has many benefits to offer the bank sector. Artificial intelligence is changing the business process and customer facing services in the bank sector in India. It
Hello.
is also being used to meet regulatory complaints that detect the fraud and access the individual create workers. The application of the AI has the potential to create more efficient business process, offer the personalized services, and assess the large goal such as a financial institution. There is no doubt the recent push towards the digitalization is rapidly influencing the traditional banking model. However, it's also exposed the institutions in this cyber security threat and vulnerables. The banks increasingly looking at the emerging technologies such as blockchain and analytics in creating an active defense, the machine mechanism of against cyber crimes. Thank you. Thank you for all. Uh, any questions? I'm happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll have the question and answer session. So we have got few questions from the students. Can I read it out?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Is the artificial intelligence disrupt the financial services? If so, how? I'll repeat. Is the artificial intelligence disrupt the financial services? If so, how?
Yeah, banks can use artificial intelligence transform the customer experience by enabling the frictionless, the 24/7 customer service interactions. But artificial intelligence banking applications is not just limited to real banking services. The back and middle office of investment banking and all other finance services are that matter could also benefit from artificial intelligence.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, next question. Yeah. So what about the future of job opportunities?
Yeah.
Whether it affects the chances of human power?
Yes, ma'am. The first, I tell you, the implementation of the artificial intelligence banking sector, any sector, will have a dramatic effect. All of this will cases a million of bank clerk. Okay, its low level of work is losses. Their future and job all around the world in the next decade. The next is 10 to 15 years is most low level of job is losses in affected AI. And the head of C company the progress in innovating the traditional bank. Almost the traditional bank is collapsed. In future is almost the low level or A or C and D level of job is losses in AI.
Okay, sir. Next question from Arya Anil. So what might the AI bank of the future look like? I'll repeat. What might the artificial intelligence bank of the future look like?
Yeah. One second. Yeah. According to the research report, the 80% of the banks recognize the benefit of AI. In futures, almost all banks is already adopted. The AI system is in the near futures. The solution of became the integrated part of the companies and development strategies, helping the remaining the market, the banking market, the competitive in the world. In futures, AI is very accuracy and very easily its services like it's more comfortable, easily accessible to the bank. It's virtual, like it's virtually is given the all the services.
Okay, sir. Next question from Alfina Abraham. What obstacles prevent banks from deploying artificial intelligence capabilities at scale? I'll repeat. What obstacles prevent banks from deploying artificial intelligence capabilities at scale?
Yeah. By using the artificial intelligence, attack can more quickly spot is opening. It's like a cyber security, such as a network without the protections down the firewall, which means that the very short window can be used for the attack, cyber attack. And AI enables vulnerables to the found that human could not detect. Since the bot can use the data from previous attack to spot very slight changes, is a very biggest challenges and security problem. This is a very deployed banking sector in artificial intelligence. Yeah, next one.
Okay, sorry, sir, I was in mute. Next question is from Nidya Susan Joy. How secure is to use artificial intelligence in banks?
Yeah, in well, is any technologies is not safe. First point, it's my point is any technology like any technology introduced the bank sector, any sector, it's not the 100% of the safe. Then is suppose artificial intelligence compared to the last previous technology like online banking, most much better. It's a point. Artificial intelligence also is affected cyber attack. No any technology is safe, but is compared to the last technology is artificial intelligence, some accuracy and speed and little bit safe. Yeah, next ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sir. Any more questions from the audience? Students, any more questions? Okay, fine, sir. So far, we have received only this many questions from the students. Thank you so much, sir. Oh, yeah, one more question, sir. It's from Philip Joseph Philip. What are the challenges faced by banks after the influence of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, it's a major challenges is job loss of the low level of worker in bank sector. These are major challenges in futures. AI deployed in the futures, job losses for the number of youngsters in futures. This is a very big problem. It's more than million of jobs. It's adoption of the AI, adoption of the banking sectors. Very big problem.
Okay, sir. Any more questions from the students? Okay. So far, no more questions. Thank you so much, sir, for the webinar session. Now I call upon Ms. Priyanka VN, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, for the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our resource person, Dr. C Vijay, for such a wonderful presentation and for spending his valuable time and share his knowledge with us. And I'm pretty sure that this webinar would definitely help our students to get an insight into the relationship between artificial intelligence and the banking sector. Thank you very much, sir. I'm really grateful to Dr. Jacob Thomas, head of our department, for being the catalyst who always inspires us to do our best and stand as a pillar of power. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to go to all the faculties of the department, our students, association members for their efforts to make this webinar a grand success. A special mention to my team members, Mr. Binu Anthony, Mrs. Rekha Michael, and Mrs. Sharon Pius. Last but not the least, thank God Almighty for showering us all blessings on us. Thank you all once again. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.